when I was younger. Especially when it comes to continuing to go to school because, when I graduated, I told myself I'm done with school. I don't want to do this no more. Like, because in my junior year, I was at the point of wanting to drop out. Like, I was at that point where, okay, like, I'm tired of school. I don't want to do it no more. And so, my junior year was just a bad year for me. Got into trouble, cut classes every day. Didn't care, about doing my homework. Didn't care about going home and doing my homework, studying. So um, that thinking back, I made that bad decision on not continuing my education after I graduated. And looking back, I wish that um, I had positive role models to look up to that would encourage me to go to school. And like, you know what? Just stay strong and should go to school and make a better life for yourself.
You mentioned the word positive role models and that you wish at the time you had positive role models to help influence your decisions and steer you in a different direction. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your family or maybe a strong network support of friends that you may have had at the time?
Well, I can say I didn't have good friends back then. All my friends that I had were troublemakers, and those are the type of friends that I had hung around with. They were the type that had a mentality like me, doing whatever they wanted to do, and staying out all late of the night, and drinking and partying, and so they were young and I was young back then. So like for me, I fit in, because they were young and I was young, and they did the things that I like to do, and so I was like, alright, cool, so I chose to have those type of friends. When it comes to family, my type of family wasn't a tight-knit family where we supported each other, uh, we encourage each other to do things and doing good things, positive things. My family was the type, struggled too. Most of my family struggled, had a hard life as well. And since I was around that, I guess in a way you could say I picked up a little bit of their habits and having to struggle in life and not being successful and not achieving or having any types of goals in life to where I could be proud of myself. And so, looking back, so I wish I had positive role models or even positive family members to look up to, and like, what, if they did it, if they could do it, so can I, and, so I wish my choices of life back then were better.
You're a very strong person to be able to experience everything that you've experienced and still realize and have a hope for change and have something to look forward to in the future, because most people would continue to go down that destructive path and not want change. And the fact that you're here today and you want change, it speaks volume. And you mentioned you didn't have anybody to be proud of you, but I'm proud of you that you recognize you want to make that change.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And are you surrounded by positive influences right now at the moment? Do you have Any positive role models in your life right now?
um, well, I don't have friends. Um, I chose to not have friends, because of them being the type that were getting in trouble, like being in trouble, and for the fact that most of the friends that I did hang out with, we just grew apart. Like they moved away. So now for me, I'm the type of person that finds it hard to trust people, because to me it's hard to trust people nowadays, and to be able to confide in them and talk to them and know that when you do confide in them, they're not going to stab you in the back. So,
Is that something you've experienced a lot
yeah,
throughout your life?
yes, definitely. Like, most of my friends is, um, that's what they would do, just say, oh, I'm going to be there for you, and they're not there. So, I realized, that was my perception of people to me, and so I told myself, I don't want to have friends. Like, if um, people that come in my life are going to be that way towards me, then I don't want no part of it. I'd rather be alone and not have to worry about being stabbed in the back and being betrayed and not having uh, those good friends to rely on. So, as far as having um, any family members that I could look up to, in a way, yes and no. Uh, when it comes to my aunt, she had struggled all her life, but in the end, somehow, she has been somewhat successful in her life. She's been there where she had a good job, she had money, she had her own place, she had a car, and, as far as my uncle, the best part of that, I could say, is that him being, since after surviving the streets for me, he's been there too, so he like just informed me on like how the streets are and how to survive and survive on your own, and um, just make sure I watch out for certain things and to make sure I stay out of trouble and try to make the right decisions now that I'm older, because I'm not getting any younger. So he's like another role model. Kind of became a role model for me.
So your aunt and your uncle were both a role model
Yeah,
to you now?
in some ways of life, I kind of can look up to them and learn from their mistakes. I grew up with them. I've seen the things that they have done in life, the struggles that they have gone through, and so I look at them and try to make sure that I don't make those same mistakes, and make sure that I have a better life for myself and not follow into their footsteps.
Besides your aunt and your uncle, is there anyone else in particular that is a positive role model for you at the moment?
As far as anybody else, I can't say yes. Like I said, I mostly keep to myself. Especially just with all the struggles that I've been through, all the bad choices that I made. Um, I mostly keep to myself. And just to try to stay out of that trouble and not go down the wrong path, and and so I guess that's why you could say I'm here at therapy, to have that somebody to talk to and get some insight from them, get some help.